Hi, my name is Annie, and I'm gonna do another video for you guys. I actually have filmed this video maybe 2 times because my computer is trash, like I've said. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for me to edit everything because my computer is so bad. I'm getting a new one very soon. And today we're going to talk about another case. This case, of course, as by the title, this case is going to be about a 17-year-old boy named Kendrick Johnson who was found deceased in a rolled up mat in his gym. I will probably do a disclaimer that I'm not going to show graphic pictures. I don't really know if you guys are like wanting something like that. I could if you guys wanted to. Just let me know in the comments if you aren't, you're not bothered by graphic stuff like that. But there are some very graphic photos of Kendrick's lifeless body. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, so I don't really want to do that unless you guys are okay with that. So Kendrick is 17 years old. He is a high school student. He is from Valdosta, Georgia. And it was Friday, January the 11th, 2013, when his family was notified, or slightly notified, that he was deceased. Now, his parents had called the police the day previous, so January 10th, saying that he was missing. He didn't come home from school. They didn't know where he was. And the next day, you know, just trying to do some investigating themselves, they were at the school grounds, and there were a lot of police everywhere, and it turned out that their son was dead in the gym. Now, there's been a lot of, this town is small. It's not that small, but it's small enough. There's a lot of rumors and speculations going on everywhere. There's a sheriff working this case, Sheriff Chris Pines. Of course, when they found his body, they, you know, took pictures. Some of those pictures are online. There's some very graphic videos online as well. I will link those below just in case you guys are kind of interested in that kind of thing. But of course, and stuff like that, they all, like, the police force decided that he died from accidental asphyxiation. Now, here's where it gets kind of weird because, like I said, his body was found in a rolled up gym mat. Now, supposedly this tradition of this school was that people would hide their shoes in these certain gym mats. Now, a lot of, even his family thinks it's very strange that he was found dead in a gym mat, and the police kind of explanation for this was that the mat was like upright. It's like a big mat, like one of those gymnastic mats, I guess, kind of. It wasn't like laying down, but it was standing up. And supposedly he had climbed into it to try and like get his shoes there at the bottom, and he kind of suffocated that way, and then it kind of fell over. And then there's another story that the mat was laying down and he climbed into it, he got stuck, and he died. Now, if you, I'm gonna link, like I said, I'm gonna link a video down below if you guys want to see that graphic video. I have watched it. I'm not gonna put it in here, but there is a video of Kendrick in the mat where he died, and the first thing you notice is that his whole body is not in that mat. His maybe like mid torso area and up is out of the mat, while his legs are in the mat. Also in the mat were like shoes stuffed in the mat, so that's the only shoes that were near the area. There's also a pair of bloody shoes, actually, kind of bloody shoes very close by, and there's some bleachers. I'll insert a picture of the, you know, the picture that I found. But supposedly the police tested that shoe and that was not blood. It very so looks like blood to me. There's also another picture. I'm gonna insert another picture over here. It is actually very close by where Kendrick's body was found. There was blood splatter on the walls. Now, I don't think the police actually tested this blood because they were just like, oh, it's not, it doesn't even match. You know, it doesn't, they just were like, oh, it's dried up blood, it's not his. When this case first came on, I watched it on the news channel, and I was very, very upset because I was like, this is not, I do not live very far from Valdosta, maybe like a few hours away. And I was just like, this case is crazy because when they showed it on the news, you could see the blood splatter in the background, kind of far off in the, not far off in the distance, but close enough. And I was telling my mom that someone killed him. He didn't just accidentally die or something. That's just my theory, but what do I know? I'm not a police officer. But I don't think, just this case in general just doesn't sound like he just kind of accidentally passed away. And his parents have been protesting for a very long time to try and get answers. His body has been his body has been kind of, his family has done different autopsies 3 different times to try and find out what happened to him. Now if you search up his name on like Google or what have you, you will see the very graphic pictures of his face. And of course, even me, I was kind of thinking, as you look at his face, there's a lot of bruising, there's blood on his face, there's different things that kind of point out to me saying that he got beaten. I don't think he just suffocated in a mat and died. Even in this certain video that like I said, is going to be linked in the description, there's blood, like a pool of blood surrounding his body, like the part of his body that was exposed through the mat. And to me, it just sounds like it's more foul play. Now I also want to point out another thing about this school. They have kind of old camera system, so of course the video footage from that school has been released to the public, and we could watch Kendrick's final walk. I think he kind of exited kind of the cafeteria, and then he makes his way to his 4th period class, which is gym class. There's a few people that enter the gym around the time he does. Now, in these certain videos, I'll have this one linked down below as well. I think it's from a Vidasta Daily News or something like that. I'm not even sure. But the timestamps of the video from the school, they don't match up. Now, I think when Kendrick enters the gym, it's a certain time, and then when he runs off towards the mat area, the time is like a 20-second difference, or like 20 minutes, I'm not even sure, but I'll link that video below where someone actually kind of explains it. And of course, if you search it up on YouTube, you can find tons of videos explaining the time jump and why a lot of people aren't really convinced what the police are saying, because like I said, the timestamps don't even match. One time when Kendrick's family did have his body exhumed, they did find weird bruising on his chin, of course with the other bruising that was already on his body. So of course that gave them a lot of doubt on whether or not he was actually just accidentally died or he was murdered. Now there's a lot of, okay, so the police did investigate certain people in this case. I think there was a few people from the school, and there was one person from the school in a different area. And then the main suspects for this case are 2 brothers, Brandon and Brian, I think are their names. They're 2 white boys. I haven't 100% found out why. I think Kendrick played basketball with one of these boys, and supposedly there had been a drop of drama between them before. So his parents, Kendrick's parents, did kind of suspect foul play, and those 2 guys were involved. Now their father is a high figure in this little town, and Kendrick's family thinks that, well, had a theory that the brothers' father had something to do with Kendrick's death and why he was killed. And in the video footage, it's a lot of people are thinking that someone lured him into the gym, because he was actually, like, he just kind of walked in and then he started running off into a certain direction, like he kind of knew where he was going. So a lot of people have that kind of theory about what kind of happened. He was lured, and then later on he was beaten, killed, and then rolled up into a mat. Now in this video footage, if you watch it from the link that I listed, this person will be talking about how some of these cameras are motion censored, and some of them kind of stop and then restart with a different timestamp. Now, this gym to me looked like it was full of people. Like, there were people playing basketball, people walking into the gym, so I don't understand why the video footage would have stopped and then restarted when there was tons of people in this gym, which is also giving me the impression that someone has meddled with these cameras, kind of deleted some footage off. The police have not found that missing footage. If there is any, they haven't found any missing footage yet. In October of 2013, there's this this Christian Leadership Council posted a $10,000 reward on information regarding Kendrick's case. Whether someone knew the killer or knew what happened to him, you could get a $10,000 reward. And no one came to claim this reward. No one came in with any information that actually panned out to get the money. So, yeah. In March of 2014, the sheriff's office received a very strange anonymous email of this person claiming that Kendrick's death was a hoax. Now, of course, this is not true. They had tons of different claims of people saying this happened to him or this is why he was killed, but none of them actually panned out, like I said before. And also Kendrick's family, his mom, his father, filed a lawsuit with the school for not being able to protect their son and suspected of hiding evidence. I have my notes here. In July, a person named Dawson Chauncey went to the sheriff station and told them that he had heard a conversation between two people saying that they had killed Kendrick. Now, none of that actually panned out, sadly, and Dalton was arrested for making false statements to the police, and he confessed that those two people that he said, the names that he said, they did not exist. And as of 2018, his body has been resumed 3 times. Now I'm going to get into some conspiracy kind of things. Now, I have already mentioned one that people suspect he's beaten to death due to his bruising. Now, if you actually search it up on Google, his family and people in the community were wearing shirts in honor of Kendrick, and they had a very graphic picture of him on those shirts. And so a lot of people kind of came up with more conspiracies, or maybe he was killed by people that worked in this school and they all just kind of hid it together and they're all just keeping it secret. Now, there's something I found very kind of strange. Now, I never found a confirmed time that he passed away, but I'm assuming around the time his family reported him missing was the time where he was getting killed or he suffocated or what have you. Now, in this cafeteria, there was an open window in the south side of the cafeteria. Now, the police just kind of stated that it was just kind of open. There wasn't glass wasn't busted out. There wasn't any kind of foul play or kind of suspicions about this window. And a lot of people are kind of thinking that maybe someone could have went into this window, killed Kendrick, and then bolted. We will honestly never know unless someone kind of comes forth with this information. Now, I'm going to talk about something a little bit crazy. I know if you guys have heard about this case, you've heard of this. Now, when Kendrick I think when his body was first when his body got resumed one time, they have to cut him back open and stuff. His family noted that his organs were not there. And when he had passed away, his family noted that majority of his organs were gone and his original clothing were missing, which adds to the conspiracy. His chest cavity was also filled with newspaper. Now, usually if bodies are going to be stuffed with something, they don't use newspaper. I think they use cotton or some other material. I can't really remember what that material is, and a lot of places don't even do that. But when they asked the coroner why his organs were missing and why he was stuffed in newspaper or what have you, he was just like, oh, well, the organs were too badly decomposed and he had to get rid of them. Which is not the greatest of explanations. It never explains where his clothes went and stuff of that nature. So of course that added more suspicion to the fire. Now, as of today, Brian and Brandon, they're in college now. They're the only two suspects in this case that I found. They're only two suspects that even the Kendrick family believe has something to do with this death. One of the boys got canceled a scholarship because of this case, and technically this case is technically still unsolved in a lot of people's eyes. Of course the police have their statement of what happened to him, but of course a lot of people, even me and a lot of people I'm sure in Georgia or just anywhere who's heard this case, do not believe that this was something of an accident. People believe he was murdered, and this case is still technically sort of unsolved. There's a lot of pieces to this case that have not been exposed to the public, and it's crazy, guys. But I will have links in the description of like different websites you guys can check out if you want to hear more about this case. And that's pretty much it for me, guys. That's the case I want to talk to you guys about. When I first heard about this case, I was blown away and I was ready to go drive to Valdosta, honestly. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video interesting. You want to know more about Kendrick, you can definitely go search him up. I'll have video in the description. And yes, guys, if you have a person you want to hear about in the description, you guys can you could comment it in the comment section if you guys have a person you want to hear me talk about. I'm gonna try and do like true crime, conspiracy stuff, and then like missing people, because there's so many missing people out here in the world and they need their information to be spread so maybe they can be found one day. So that's all I have about Kendrick. You guys totally should subscribe to this channel, like this video, and click the notification bell, because I make videos quite often sometimes and they're not on like any specific schedule. I try to upload on Monday and Wednesday because I usually spend the weekend editing videos and recording new videos for you guys. And I promise my editing will get better. I will be getting a new computer soon because my current one is trash, and I will have more videos like coming up and they'll be better. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'm gonna go. And you guys can follow me on Instagram. I don't really use it, but you guys can follow me on Twitter at veganlowd, and we can talk. You know, we can talk about whatever you want, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.